need to be updated, and we've sort of not had that happen. So he's been very proactive in trying to bring forward some of the board bylaws and help modernize those and bring them up to speed. So this is 14.4, bylaw at 9,000, and then 14.5 for information as well, 9,200.
And these are self-evident. One of the 9,000 is the role of the board, and 9,200 is limits of board member authority. And these are here for a first reading or the first time being available for everybody to review. And then at the next meeting, the next regular meeting, they'll be coming back for approval.
Okay, so any board questions on either of those two bylaws? Mrs. Mayo?
I had a question on the first one in particular. I would like to know more information about the sentence that pertains to 4A, where it's clear that the board would be evaluating the superintendent, and the new bold-faced section that set policy for the evaluation of other personnel. My question was, who would be included in that description of other personnel? Is it just...
The Board of Education has one employee, which is the superintendent, but the Board of Education also has to oversee the duties of the superintendent. And if there are qualities or skills that the board would like the individuals that the superintendent evaluates, if they want to see those things specifically included in an evaluation document, then that would be something that would be important for the superintendent to hear. Beyond attendance and beyond some of the other things, if they're, what are they doing to align themselves with board goals? What are the activities they've done in support of board goal A, or board goal B, or board goal C? So it would be, what are the topics that they would like the superintendent to use in part of the evaluation process, except for the individuals who report directly to the superintendent. Everybody else belongs to an employee organization. And for those that are in the administration, there is a document that has already been approved as far as an administrative evaluation document. So that is already set. But for individuals in the superintendent's council, I'm speaking now to people who are in contract, who are sitting to my right, and also with Mr. Richards, if there are specific things the board would like to have included in an evaluation document for all of them, all those individuals, then that'd be important for the superintendent to know, and they could be part of the initial meeting with those individuals to make sure that they are aware that these are things that will be reported.
Thank you.
Any other questions on either of those two bylaws? If not, those will come back in August, correct? Not at our special meeting, but in August at our regular board meeting for action. So thank you for your efforts to keep us current. Oh, okay. I kind of lumped two together, so Mrs. Oakes just passed me the card that says Mr. Willie Mims.
I don't let anybody buy
I'm sorry, Mr. Mims, you also have 14.5, so I just kind of grouped them both together. So if you want to comment on those, that'd be great.
Okay, on 14.4. Well, first of all, I want to qualify what the interim superintendent tried to just explain to the board, in case you did not know. You only have one employee, the superintendent. You can only evaluate one employee, the superintendent, nobody else. He works for you, and everybody else works for him in the Amanda Unified School District. So just in case you did not know that, you have one employee, this man right here. I'm glad that he qualified, because I don't think I've heard that from anybody else prior to you coming here, sir. So, glad that you got that straight. I hope that they heard what you said. On 3, providing support to the superintendent and staff as they carry out the board's direction. But that is critical and crucial. So I hope that the board understands and believe and accept this policy. First of all, I want to say this. I'm glad that you kind of cleaned up this policy here because it was somewhat weak. So you cleaned it up and qualified. The other thing is on 14C, I mean 4C, find it. 4C, serving as judicial and appeals body in accordance with law, board policies, and negotiated agreements. Well, one thing is missing. I think that you should add a California Ed Code because you operate under Ed Code. So that critical statement should be added into that because you operate under California Ed Code. I mean, I understand about these agreements, negotiated agreements and everything else, but you operate under California Ed Code. Am I correct in saying that, Dr. Bernard?
I'm going to let you finish, sir.
Okay. I have to track down the other one because I got caught off guard with this. I didn't know to take them both at the same time. You have attachment for 14.5? Well, under 14.5, it talks about limiting the authority of the board, what the board can and cannot do. I think that I'm not sure if this board clearly understood this item here about what their roles are and how far and what they can and cannot do. And when I was listening to Dr. Bernard earlier when he talked about public notice in terms of agendized items. You know, you just can't just put an item on the agenda unless it's some kind of emergency that has to take place, but the public has a right to know. So I was kind of proud to hear that because I've not heard anyone, you know, in that position talk about the Brown Act and the law. The board, what we have here is a cleaned up version of the authority that the board has and does not have. And I think that, I mean, I like this, you know, I mean, I hope that the board have perhaps a workshop of some kind to go over those rules and so that they won't step beyond the line. That has occurred with this board here numerous times. And so I'm happy to see this. I think that Dr. Bernard, you're already on my good side because you're talking about the law here and holding people accountable and also letting the board know when they are moving outside of the boundaries of the Brown Act. So I appreciate that. So that's all I want to say. Thank you.
Mr. Names, what I wanted to mention to you was earlier when you asked about the Ed Code being added to that other policy, bylaw. The word there is law, with all the laws, and the Ed Code and Penal Code and Government Codes are the laws that we do have to abide by, and therefore it is included within the word law. That would mean Ed Code, that would mean Government Code, Health and Safety Code, Penal Code, etc.
Yeah, I understand that, but when I see just law standing out by itself, it's, you know, there's all kinds of laws that does not even include Ed Code, so that's why I want someone qualified.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think that catches us up on public comment cards. Mrs. Oaks, do we have others on this? We're on 16, sorry. Let's see the agenda again. Can we get the agenda list? There we go. Okay, we are on 14.6.